Your brain is lying to you. Trust your gut instead. Have you ever been in a situation where everything made sense on paper, ticked all the right boxes, should have been the right thing for you, but something just didn't feel right? Maybe it was an uneasy feeling in your gut, or you were avoiding making a decision, but didn't know why. Maybe it was a job offer that checked every single box, great pay, fancy title, stability, but you felt an invisible weight on your chest every time you thought about accepting it. Or maybe it was a relationship. They were perfect on paper, but when you were with them, something just felt off. Your mind said yes, but your gut screamed no. This internal war between logic and instinct happens way more often than we realize. And here's the wild part. Most of us are trained to ignore this gut instinct. We're told it's reckless or not to make rash decisions. But what if we told you that your gut instinct knows you and your needs, wants, and desires more than any form of logic can? Well, today we're going to deep dive into this mysterious instinct because deep down, you already know what to do. Part 1, the inner tug of war. Logic versus instinct. Your brain, especially the rational part, the prefrontal cortex, is like a lawyer. It evaluates risks, benefits, pros and cons. It runs simulations. It wants everything to make logical sense. It calls on reason and evidence. But your gut? It's primal. It's emotional and fast-acting. It reacts before you have time to think. Now, here's the twist. In many life-changing moments, like deciding to end a relationship, quit a job, or take a leap into the unknown, your gut often knows before your brain does. And ignoring this instinct, it can actually cost you years of your life. So let me tell you a story. Imagine having an opportunity come up, a well-paying corporate gig, the kind of thing your parents would brag about to their friends. But something inside you, something quiet and kind of hard to define, feels uneasy. You brush it off, and you just tell yourself you're scared of change and that it'll pass. You convince yourself everyone feels this way at first. So you accept the job offer. And within 3 months of starting, you are miserable. Not because of the work or the people or even the hours, but because it's not a good fit. You knew. That one feeling that you had ignored, that knows, is the gut. But why do we feel this way? And how does the body and the gut even know? But before we dive in, I want to thank today's sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an online therapy platform that makes it easier to start working with a therapist. You fill out a short questionnaire and you'll be matched with a therapist in as little as a couple of days. If it's not the right fit, you can easily switch therapists at no extra cost. A therapist won't just listen. They'll help you see things from a new perspective and guide you toward real, actionable change. And with over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform people trust. So if you've been feeling stuck or overwhelmed lately, and let's be honest, who hasn't? Consider giving therapy a try. You can get 10% off your first month by clicking the link in the description or going to betterhelp.com/improvementpill. Part 2, the science of gut feeling. Now, let's talk science. What we casually call gut feeling isn't just a throwaway comment. It's actually backed by neuroscience. Now, your gut has its own nervous system, the enteric nervous system, which is so complex that it's often referred to as our second brain. And this is with your subconscious, the part of our mental processing that is unconscious. It sifts through millions of bits of information every second. Patterns, micro-expressions, environmental cues, stuff your conscious, thinking brain is not even aware of. When your gut reacts to something, it's usually because your subconscious has spotted something important, something your rational brain is still catching on to. In a way, your gut is playing 4D chess when your brain is still trying to figure out how many places a knight can move. Sounds pretty complex, right? Ever heard of Steve Jobs? Of course you have. The hugely successful tech entrepreneur and founder of Apple started his journey by dropping out of college. Now, on paper, it was a terrible idea. He had no backup plan, no degree, absolutely nothing. But deep down, he knew the path he was supposed to take was not the one everyone else expected of him. He made a decision to drop out of college based on instinct. And the rest, well, as they say, is history. And there are thousands of stories like this. And you might be able to think of a few of your own too. Part 3. The overthinking trap. So why do we still ignore our gut? 2 words: fear and overthinking. It is our brain's job to protect us. It wants to avoid pain, embarrassment, and failure. So when we feel a strong inner pull to make a bold move, the brain panics. It floods us with what ifs. What if I fail? What if I regret it? What if I'm wrong? But here's the irony. Overthinking often leads to even worse decisions, or no decision at all. And as the saying goes, not deciding is a decision. You stay in the wrong relationship. You stay at the wrong job. You let your dreams collect dust on a shelf labeled, maybe someday. But deep down, you already know. Part 4. Gut versus impulse. How to tell the difference. Now, sometimes making decisions based on gut instinct can come across as rash or even reckless. But let's break it down. Not every urge is a gut instinct. Sometimes we confuse our impulses with our intuition. And there is an important difference. But how do we tell what the difference is? Well, here's a simple framework. Pause, feel, act. Number 1, pause. Just take a moment. Don't rush. Breathe. Still in your mind. Number 2, feel. Ask yourself, why do I feel like this? Is it fear, ego, excitement? Or is it a deeper, calmer knowing? Number 3, act. If the feeling persists, even after time and reflection, trust it. True gut feelings don't scream, they whisper. It's not an anxious, panicked response, but a quiet and certain feeling. Seriously, listen for that still, small voice. It's often the wisest one in the room. Part 5. Ancient wisdom and modern truths. Now, this isn't a new idea. Stoics believed in acting with decisiveness. The samurai were trained to trust their instincts in battle. Zen monks practiced stillness to hear the voice within. Even Einstein once said, "The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant." Even today, CEOs, elite athletes, and military leaders all speak about the power of trusting your gut. Because the truth is, we're not machines. We're not spreadsheets. We are human. And humans thrive when we align reason with intuition. It's the one thing that machines can't do. Part 6. The real reason you're not listening to your gut. Sometimes we don't ignore our gut because we don't hear it. We ignore it because we're afraid of what it's telling us. That our relationship needs to end. That the career we spent years building isn't right. That the life we've designed doesn't fit us anymore. But here's the thing. Truth does not go away just because you ignore it. It waits, and it whispers, until the day you're finally ready to listen. Right now, think about one decision you've been avoiding recently. Maybe it's a conversation that you need to have, a change that you need to make, a truth you've buried behind logic and rationality for far too long. You already know the answer. And so today, just take that one small step into the direction your gut is pointing you in. It doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be public. Just one step. Because every time you listen to that quiet inner voice, it starts to get louder, more confident, more trustworthy. And before long, you become the kind of person who doesn't need to ask, "What should I do?" You already know. Hopefully this video has helped push you in the right direction and given you the confidence you need. And remember, your brain might be smart, but your gut is wise. So trust it.